Hey guys, I hope you all are doing well today. I wanted to make a video just on something that's been on my mind, and I wanted to kind of talk about, share my experiences with you guys, and hopefully inspire you to do something a little bit different. So this kind of goes along with my pay it forward idea, just of doing something nice for someone else without anything in return and hoping that they go ahead and pass that on and it creates a chain reaction. If you haven't seen the video I did all about it, I will link it below for you. But today I was just thinking about, the tragedy that happened in Santa Barbara and just all of that stuff, and I don't want to fully get into that just because I know a lot of people have a ton of different thoughts and opinions on that, and it's very controversial, but my overall thought was just, you never know what someone else is going through, and you never know how someone may be feeling at the moment. So I just really have been thinking about this idea of how simple it is to compliment someone and just the power of a compliment and how much that really can brighten someone's day or change their life or just give them the motivation that they're needing in that moment. I was talking to my little sister who's actually going into 7th grade, and for me, I've shared this with you guys before, but middle school and especially 7th grade was definitely the hardest time in my life. I was bullied and girls were just very mean to me, and it just was a really difficult time, and I think it really did shape me as a person and kind of turn me into who I am today. And just looking back on it, the people that did stick up for me and the people that went out of their way that I didn't even know very well to say something nice to me, I will never forget that. And I remember actually being in 7th grade, I remember the big thing was always who was going to sit where at lunch. And I remember there was this girl that I didn't know that well, but she always was sitting alone at lunch, and she looked like a nice girl, but you could tell she just was, uncomfortable and upset that literally every day she would just get her lunch tray, sit down by herself at the end of a table. And one day my friend and I decided to actually go over to her and invite her to sit with us. And we had a big group of friends that always sat at the same table, and we just decided, let's go ask her if she would like to join us, and she did. And from then on, she, kept sitting with us and stuff, and she ended up moving away. And a few years ago, she messaged me after I had made a video kind of about my whole experience in middle school and just getting bullied, and she said, it was so simple of you to invite me to come over and sit with you guys, but you really made my year, and you really just improved that whole school year for me so much by doing something so small, and I don't think you'll ever know how much that meant to me. And that just really warmed my heart. And when I did that, I felt so good because that's how I would want someone to treat me. And I really just think it kind of just stems back to, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. And that's the oldest piece of advice you've probably ever been given. I'm sure you remember hearing that when you were a little kid, but it's so true. It just really, you don't gain anything from being a mean person or from being hateful towards others, but you can gain so much from complimenting and being supportive and inspiring and uplifting to others. It's incredible because it's so simple, but I think so many people don't realize how much it really can change someone else's day and how much it also can make you feel just good about yourself and like you're doing something helpful. One story in particular, when it actually helped me, a few years ago when my friend Ben passed away, I remember I was going grocery shopping and I was just in a really bad mood. I was upset, I was tired, and I just was running to the grocery store to get something. And I remember standing in line, I'm sure I had a really mean, just not approachable look on my face. And just out of habit, whenever I check out with a cashier or something and they say, have a nice day or whatever, I just smile at them. It's just naturally what I do. And so I smiled at the cashier and he said, "Wow, you look so pretty when you smile. You should do that more often." He wasn't doing it to gain anything. He wasn't, trying to, be creepy or hit on me or anything. It just honestly was such a nice comment that he made. And I remember I left the store and I instantly, just my mood was kind of brightened, and I just felt a little bit better on this day that I was feeling so down. And of course, thinking back on it, he probably was looking at me when I was standing in line and could tell that I was having a bad day and I looked unhappy, and he just decided to say something nice to me, and something so simple, but it really did just change my day. And to this day, I remember that moment. Maybe he always is nice to people and he always says little compliments to people as they go through the checkout line, but a few years later I still exactly remember that, and I exactly remember how it made me feel. So I really hope that you guys are challenged just to go out and compliment someone and try to look for the good in people and look for the things that you like about someone. And I think when you start to do that, your whole mindset kind of changes. And I am a firm believer in the energy that you put out into the world and the way that you treat people is really what comes back to you. And I think when you're spending all of your time looking for things to bring people down, or you're looking for the negative aspects of someone or hurtful comments you can make, you really are just feeding all this negative energy. But when you flip it around and you look for things that you love about someone, or something that is awesome about someone, or something they're doing great, and you decide to go ahead and compliment them on that, you, number one, you see the joy that it brings someone else, and it just makes you feel better inside and out. And like I said, I'm sure this is all very simple, and you guys are like, yes, we know, of course, compliments are nice and people love to be complimented, but I think you will be amazed just by how a small word or a small gesture to someone can really change someone's whole day. I've been on the other side of it, and I've also been on the receiving side of it, and I just think it's really something that I want to challenge my viewers to do, and just see, you know, how people react to you. I think it's really cool, especially when you're out, to just be like, hey, I like your shirt, or hey, your hair looks really nice, or you know, hey, I saw you running, and you know, I'm really impressed that you go out running every day, or something so simple. And just to see someone's face light up, especially when they're not expecting it, and you just say something, you know, very casually nice to them, it's really cool. And it's just something that I really do hope catches on and people start doing. And every time I've ever given a random compliment, I've always had a really great response from the other person. And even if they act a little bit stunned or a little bit caught off guard, it's kind of sad we've gone to that point where people maybe are a little bit surprised that someone decides to say something nice to them, but I promise you it will make their whole day, and they'll go home thinking about that and just thinking about how nice it was of you to step out of your comfort zone and say something to them. So I hope that you guys are challenged to go give someone a random compliment. Definitely leave me a comment on the best random compliment you have ever received, maybe one that's really stuck in your mind that you remember to this day, because I definitely have some that I do. And I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!